Now that we've walked through the basics of how to post an Instagram story, I want to show you how to post an actual story on your Instagram story. So oftentimes for our Instagram stories, I will post multiple things in a row at once to tell a story. So first, the first post in your full story is going to perform better if it's a photo of a person or a video of a person talking. So when possible, I like to have a video of a person talking that introduces the topic that will be covered in the next few story posts. So here I will show you, we'll hit that plus sign on the bottom. I'll select story because that's what I want to post. And I'll hit my camera roll. And I have a 5-second video already recorded that will introduce the topic of the environment. You can't hear it because there would be an echo, but I'm just saying cigarettes are single-use plastics and a problem for our environment. Now, I want to make sure that some of our partners see this story. So I'm going to tap on those letters A, and then I will type @ and it shows a bunch of our partners just because I've tagged people on this before. But so I'll hit people's names. And so I'll just keep tagging a couple different handles of our partners who I want to see this post. You can tag up to 10 different accounts when you're posting on your story. Again, these will just be your most recent tags of different organizations that you've engaged with before. And so I'm just going to hit done here. That's not formatted really well. I'm stretching it. I'm shrinking it with 2 fingers on the screen, just making it smaller. But I'm going to hide that so that it looks cleaner on my story. So I'll just put it there. And then I'll hit that smiley face square. And that's where I can see all the different features on Instagram stories. And one particularly useful one is this photo right here. You see it's of me, but that's because it's my camera roll, because that's the most recent photo. So I'll tap that. And in my camera roll, I can grab a photo. So since I'm talking about cigarettes are being plastic, I'm going to grab that. I'm dragging it down with 1 finger, using 2 fingers on the screen to shrink it. And then now I can put it right over that text. So I'm hiding it there. It makes your whole thing look a lot cleaner, but it now will allow those partners to repost this content specifically within their own story because I've got it all set up for them. So maybe I'll make that a little bit bigger. We'll have it there. And then I'm just going to hit stories. And that posts right there. Now I'm going to do these all together because I want them to go quickly. So you can also post to stories just by swiping over to the side, and you can see your stories auto loads there. And so next I'm going to do a layout post. So on the right-hand side, you see those letters. That's if you were doing a create type of story post, which is just text on a screen. I can hit arrow down and see the other types, but I'm going to do a layout, which is a different grid of photos. So you can hit change grid. Those are all the different options. So if you have a bunch of horizontal photos that you still want to use on story, they're not formatted right, you can just change the layout and add a couple. So we'll do 2 horizontal photos that we have ready. I'll hit my camera roll, that bottom left-hand corner again. We have a couple photos here that are horizontal. So we'll grab that one. It looks like it's being cut off right now, but you can see there's that black box across the bottom, and so it's going to drop down. So I'm going to leave it there anyway. I'll hit my camera roll again. I'll grab another horizontal photo, and now I'm able to pinch again with 2 fingers and move the photos around. So if I needed to align them or stretch them, so this top one, if I wanted it stretched more, just 2 fingers on the screen, I was able to stretch it. This bottom one, we can see if we can center the people a little more. And then there's that white checkbox. So I'm going to hit check. And now I want to say something for this as well. So I'll tap, you can just tap anywhere and text will be the first thing that pops up. I'm going to hit done. Or if I hit those letters at the very top, then it also gives you the chance to type something. So we will say. So we are honored to advocate for public health at the UN Plastic Pollution Treaty negotiations with our partners. Now it's defaulting to that font that I use the most often, but you can scroll through and see your post with different fonts. I'd recommend choosing one font and sticking to it for brand consistency. Same thing with color. So I'm gonna hit the color wheel at the very top for Ash's Instagram stories because blue is one of our brand colors. I just hit that default blue. You can also use this hourglass and select a color that matches the background, that little easel pen, but I like the default blue for Ash. It makes it easy for us to have brand consistency. So I will hit done in the top. Again, I'm going to use 2 fingers to shrink that text down. And I'm going to just tap anywhere. Keyboard comes back up. And then I'm going to tag some partners again. And then I'm going to hit done. This is now going into that blue just because I selected it, but I'll use 2 fingers to shrink it down. I'm going to put it on top of my other text because remember, we're hiding our tags. So now I'm going to tap on the other text around where it says pollution. And then I'm pulling this, it pulls it to the front. Whatever you've touched last is what will come to the front pane of it. I'm also actually going to scoot this up and I'll add the location. So I'll hit the smiley face and we'll add a location. These photos were from Punta del Este, Uruguay. If I tap on this, it'll change the color. So you're able to switch it. I'm just going to leave it as purple right now, but I will shrink it down. I like to align my text together. So now it fits there a little better. This gray arrow is just my Zoom thing. That's not from Instagram. So now that we've got our second one, I'll hit stories on the bottom left. And that's posted. Now let's add some graphics. Again, I'm just doing that side swipe, tapping my camera roll. Let's see. We'll add this graphic that was made by Stop. It's already formatted to be vertical. Easy to do right there. We can actually, there's a hashtag on here, so let's make that an active hashtag. I'll hit that square smiley face. You can choose one hashtag that's formatted like this, so let's use that. I'll hit done in the top right. Again, I can pull it down. I'm just going to cover up that hashtag. It's a good way to make it engaging. Now that'll be part of the clickable search engine within there. And I will tag Stop since it's their graphic. So I just tapped in the open space, tagging Stop. Now here, I'm not going to hide this behind that hashtag because the hashtag is clickable. So if someone clicks on it, I'm not trying to have them click on something else. So here, I'm going to take off that background color, which is this other A changes it. And then I'm going to hit the color wheel, that pencil. I'm going to move it down to find green. So it's from that background color where I am matching it to it. I'm going to hit done. I'm dragging it right here. You can see I have this green text. And then I'm going to use 2 fingers to shrink it really small so that you can't see it. So it's tagged in there. They're able to repost it, but it's going to look a lot cleaner for folks without messy tags all over. So we'll hit next, we'll hit, I'm just hitting that our stories, and that's what posts it on the bottom left. So now that one is done, let's do another. Again, our goal here is to tell a story through our story and give people multiple things to click through. So let's grab another image from Stop. Here are some stats. On this one, I'm also going to add a URL, which is one of the best features you can use as a nonprofit or LLA. So again, we'll hit that square smiley face, and you can hit link right here. I need to grab a link though, so I'm going to go over to my browser. I'll hit the up arrow. You can hit copy link, bring it back, paste in your link. And then I'll customize my sticker text. And I'll hit done. Let me pull that down too, out of the way. And we'll tag a couple partners on it. And here too, we will hide it as a background color. So I'll find a background color, hit done. We've got all those tags. I'm just using 2 fingers to drag and shrink them and put them in an open space. So you can't see it now. Again, keeping it clean. There's already a lot of text here. I don't want to add anything else. I'll hit your stories. So now that's posted, and let's finish it with one of their graphics directly. So we'll hit on exposing tobacco right here. We'll go to their profile. On their profile, you can see those grid marks on the left. That's their entire timeline. The middle one are videos that are reels, which means it'll be formatted perfectly for Instagram stories for us. So let's grab this water one that's different than what we just posted. Now I'm going to hit that arrow up and add reel to your story. This is how it auto loads. I'd recommend that you, again, use 2 fingers, drag and stretch it, fill up the screen more. There's no reason to leave it small. You can align it a little bit. And then I'd also choose, again, you have that for Ash, we've chosen that blue as our brand color. So I'm going to hit the color wheel here. And either choose one of those colors, or if you hit the 3 dots, draw. Again, that blue on the bottom is what we use for Ash. Choose a color that works for your brand. I'm going to hit that blue and touch in the outside text or outside window border that's there. And I just hold down in that space. See where I just made a blue dot? I'm going to hold there longer, and it changes the whole background to that one color, which means it'll all look consistent for all of Ash's posts. We do this every time we share anything to our story. We change that background color just so it has a feel of Ash. And then you have to hit done in the top. And we've got this reel aligned and stretched. Let's stretch it a little more just to make it easier for folks to view. And then we'll hit your story. So that will be posted now. I'm going to back out of their timeline. But so for example, if I was grabbing one of their square posts, there's a square, if we hit share to story, add to your story, there's different ways you can do it. You can just hit share right here, or you can make it a little more interesting for folks. If I tap that square, it adds a box around it. You can see some of their caption. I can stretch this also. Let's not stretch it too far, but I can move it up, down. Again, change that background color. I'm going to hit the 3 dots, draw, choose that blue, touch in the background, hold down, whole thing changes, and then we'll hit done. So now when I'm sharing it through, let's center it. Those lines help you center it. It'll look more consistent with our brand. We're not going to share this one because it doesn't fit the sort of story that we were telling. So I'll hit that back arrow and discard. But it's a great way to make your stories more engaging and consistent for your brand every time you are sharing one. So let's go back to ours. If I tap on our logo and I pull up, I can see that full story that we just told right here. They're all side by side. So we started with the person talking in a video. We shared some photos. We already got one viewer based on that location, which is why you want to add a location, because some people are searching based on the location. We've got that next one. And if you're sharing a link specifically too, our Google Analytics tell us if we get clicks through from these links within our story. So you do get traffic, it is worth doing. And it's one of the best ways to make your Instagram content clickable, because you can't have a link in the post itself.